text and drive right now.
And
he ain't getting no endorsement for no texting and driving.
Oh man.
Real. Alright. Okay, so my man was gonna write a very, so you bombed.
I bombed bad too. And I'm trying to, and here's the thing, like I got jokes now, but it was a time where I only had fluff. I only had, yo, DJ, play this song. Don't you hate when girls do this? I cut it out.
I remember when you was doing that. You did some of that at University of Florida that one time.
Man, so all I had was just the fluff, right? So I get to a show where nobody knew who I was. And then the bad thing is that I have a little bit of a following in the Carolinas. And so if I go to North Carolina, South Carolina, somebody on your road know of me, right? So that gives you a little bit more time for people to say, oh yeah, my man said you was good. Yeah, we like him, right? But I went to Texas. I won't say the school, but I went to Texas. Nobody knew me, so nobody came to the show. Maybe like 12 people came to the show. And then, my signature is like the lights up joint. We turn the lights off and we do like this really cool thing with your phones and all of that, right? But so that wasn't an option at all. We were in a cafeteria, all the lights on, 12 students in a whole cafeteria.
Just 12?
Just 12. And like it wasn't even a sound system or nothing. It was a mic with like a little amp beside me.
Right.
And they said, I go for an hour and make my students laugh. Okay, all white school now, and that don't mean nothing. Like funny is funny. It's to translate demographics, ages, anything. But for whatever reason, they did not find me funny. Like, and I'm still trying to do like the music stuff. Every time I go to a school, I say, yo, get me in contact with the DJ. I need to make sure everything's on point. The advisor's like, yo, we don't have a DJ. I can just hit the music for you. You got your just bring your laptop and I'll do it. Okay, right? So everything is against me, right? And so now, and I wasn't big on like cracking jokes on people or whatever. I can now. It was a time that I'm like, okay, do I do stand up or am I a host? And at that time, I was simply a host. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And saying simply a host is not a bad thing because I pride myself on being a great host. Because you got a lot of people who just announce, and you got people that host. And I'll tell anybody, I host. You feel me?
Right.
And so I'm doing the show. It's supposed to be for an hour. I'm thinking that I tapped out at maybe like 44 minutes or something. Right? Dude came up to me after getting interviews, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so how long you been doing it? And that's always the question that you like, dang, they think you just started yesterday.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like how long you been doing I don't even think he said comedy. I think he said how long you been doing that. And I was like, and this is like maybe 2 years ago. So I was like, man, since 2010, so like just been grinding, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing. Okay, yeah, so how did it feel? I guess like and so the interview was weird and I'm kind of side-eyeing him like, is he trying to play me? Anyway, my agent at the time 2 days later sent me the article and was like, just so you know, this is an article out about you. And I'm like, okay. And I still remember that he made the comparison that he was like, yo, our students just were not feeling the comedian. In the paper, I think he said wasn't feeling the comedian. I think his name was Jay Dukes.
I think his name
was Jay Dukes. Like, you don't even know my name, or you don't even care to find out my name. I think, right? And then he was saying, and then he said, if his jokes were more like this other white comedian, then they probably would have felt him more.
So somebody went before you?
No.
Or they just came a different time?
I came a different time, but he was saying, and I know the comedian's name, but I won't put it out there, but he was saying if it's like we've had comedians before and they did very well, so if Jay Dukes' jokes were more like this other white comedian, then maybe he would have been successful. But unfortunately, he was not. I was like, jeez. Like, so I wanna forget that, but I don't, maybe it's not important to forget. Maybe I need to store it so that I can, you know what I'm saying, have that feeling when I hit the stage every time.
Well, when you first read it, what was you feeling?
When I first read it, I was just like, wow. Like I know I didn't do well, but I was like, dang, this is what we're doing. But and because you can Google that article. It wasn't, just a school paper. We got technology now.
Let's see if we can find it right now.
Dog, don't do that to me.
Don't do that to me. I'm about to see if I can find it right now.
You can Google that article.
J. Duke School in Texas and see if it pops up.
Man, and that's horrible. That and hopefully it doesn't. But yeah,
just pop up.
Man. And that was my concern. I was like, man, this wasn't like no little magazine they pass out on campus. You can pull this up when you talk about reviews and talk about, should we get J. Dukes?
Right. And
I'm like, yo, that wasn't cool. So that's really what my reaction was. I was just basically like, man, that wasn't cool, bro. But it's not like I could call them and tell them, yo, I need you to retract the story.
Right. Hey, it's part of the process.
Part of the process, right? And that was your truth. That was his truth,
Well, at least it didn't come up on the first page. But I'm gonna find it out. DM it to you, so you have it, because that's, man, I think at least comedian that I've read about has a story like that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many of them get booed off the stage.
Yeah.
Just in their process of learning, because that's hard. I always think about the Fresh Prince episode when D.L. Hughley was on there and Will Smith thought he could do it. I said, no, that's a hard job.
But then booing somebody is easier. Like if you boo me, I can go on about my day and just get my check. The administrator are gonna be mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if you let me waste 44 minutes of my time and know that I'm struggling, and I can see it in your face, like it got to a point that I was like, man, y'all don't care about these jokes. What's your major? Like what do you do? Like what do you want to do? I'm like, man, what? Because at the end of the day, like and you know this as a speaker, even if they feeling you or not, you'll still get paid if you do your time.
Right.
So you just can't say, okay, that's it. Right. You have to do something. So I'm like, yo, like I'm really struggling. They're not laughing at any of my jokes. She keep messing up all of the music. It's no purpose to go back to the music, because even if I tell a joke and the music is the punchline, if she messes it up, they still don't get it. And this is music that they don't even know. I'm like, even in my intro, I'm like turned up and down, like, and they just looking at me like, what song is this?
You know what would have really been funny if you just would have stopped and said, all right, let's help me get better. What can I do to get better?
Talk to me.
Hilarious. That would have been
Listen,
hilarious.
for whatever reason, y'all are not feeling me. So, come on, Sinatra.
No.
Yeah.
Not even gonna go fast.
But nah, that was probably the worst show. And a lot of people ask me what was your worst show. A lot of people ask me what was your best show. I don't know, but my worst show had to be one of them, one of two, because the other one I can remember.
What's the other one?
The other one is first time I opened up for Ricky Smiley, right? And I'm practicing, like I gotta do 15 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I've done colleges,
and that's long. That's long for
that's long. 15 minutes is long, right? And I'm like, okay, I gotta do 15 minutes. It's not college, so I can't really use none of my college material. First of all, my question is, okay, do I have 15 minutes? Like, okay, so I'm recording myself. I'm writing all my jokes down. I'm recording myself on my phone. I'm practicing. I'm looking at the time. Like, okay, cool. I can make it. We got 15. We can do that, right? And so I get to the show. This was in Greenville, North Carolina. For what, like, they had, some local, like, heavy hitter promoters on the show, and they used their local comedians to promote for the show. So being that they use their local comedians, they let them get some time on the show as well, right? So one thing that's another something else that's detrimental to stand up is 6-7 comics on the show, right?
Why is that? Because I seen like 4.
You seen 4 exactly, right? But if I'm not a headliner, and I can honestly say I'm not a headliner yet, I'm a host and I'm a strong feature, right? If you put up 3-4 headliners before me, they're supposed to be funnier than me, right? You put up 3-4 people that like, and then a headliner, they got their time, they have to do an hour. So if you can do a strong hour, of course you can do a dope 10 minutes, right? You got a fire 10 minutes, and so they put up like 3 local comedians, and that's why I can be totally transparent and say that when it comes to stand-up, I know a lot of people funnier than me, a lot of people. But when it comes to hosting, I'm the top 3, and I don't care what nobody says. Drake said being humble don't work as well as being aware. You feel me? And so when it comes to stand-up, I'm like, yo, put me up first, right? Put me up first or second. Don't put me behind no fire, not yet, right? But when you're on that platform, it's Ricky Smiley. So I booked you because I trust you, because I believe in you, and I know you're gonna be fire. Right? So I don't care who go up before you. Just do your shit, be fire. Right?
That time with Ricky Smiley. So what did Ricky Smiley say something to you? Like,
he didn't because Ricky just comes and he performs. So his road manager was like, man, I gotta tell you the story first. Nobody said anything, but yeah, this is cool. And so what happened was they put up like 3 like heavy hitters, and I mean like they killing the dude. Before the dude, when we finally walked in the building, dude got a standing ovation, like local cat, and I'm like, whoa! They say doing 7 to 10 minutes each of fire, boom, 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 right? Big Sean Larkins hosts Ricky's part of the show. So basically they had 2 different parts of the show. They had a local part, then they had Ricky Smiley and Friends, right? But that's it. Like, maybe the show started at 6. Like Ricky's part didn't even start till 7. You know what I mean? Because they putting up people or whatever. And so Sean Larkins go up and he hosted. He kill. He bring me up. I'm nervous. This is my first time performing for Ricky Smiley. I'm talking too fast. Like, dog, somebody in the crowd yelled out, "Fix your mic," right? And so instead of me saying something funny as responding to it, like I literally was so in my head from performing for Ricky Smiley that I talked to the sound man and said, "Yo, sound man, they said something wrong with my mic. Can you fix that for me, please?" Okay, what was I talking about? Right, dog. And this was last year, so like it don't matter how long you've been doing it, everybody has those moments. This was last year, bro. And so when I took that time and wasn't funny for those 20 seconds of literally in my head, yo, I'm performing for Ricky Smiley, like please fix my mic, don't mess up this opportunity for me, right? They gave somebody the courage in the back to yell next and they kept yelling it. Like a lady too, a woman, next, and then like next, and so it got to the point that I had to address her to keep because I'm like, yo, I'm not getting off the stage right now, like I'm gonna fight for this, right? And so I was like, ma'am, y'all done seen 56 comics, and then when I get up here, you wanna act like this? Come on now. Like I was like, yo, if y'all want me to get, I ain't say if y'all want me to get off stage, but I'm like, yo, stop being rude. Like I got it, chill out. Like if y'all want me to keep going, make some noise. And they clap. And then I did my last like preacher in the classroom joke to at least be like, yo, I'm funny, yo. So don't to prove to his road manager like, yo, I can do this. But for whatever reason, I just wasn't on my I wasn't on my game tonight. You know what I mean?
Did you have any funny jokes?
Yeah, I mean some
like or like
some of them rock, but it was the flow to where it looked like this guy's inexperienced and we don't believe him. Right? Yeah. And so just the flow was totally off. Dog, and you ever seen like like when a quarterback sucking, the backup quarterback will start like throwing. They start warming up. They start throwing the ball. Start warming up. Start doing this stretching. Like dog, like Rita B is Ricky Smiley's feature. Like she's just permanent feature. Travels everywhere with Ricky. Like dog, when that lady started yelling next, she was like the road manager called her to the side of the stage. She's on the side of the stage on the second step, like this. Like I'm like, let me know, I'm ready. Like, come on, I'm ready. Like whenever you need me, I'm ready. Let's go. And then and so I'm like, and then when I addressed her and then went into my last joke, she kind of like stepped back and they was like, okay, he got it. Okay, cool. But I was like, man, and but so Ricky didn't say anything. Road manager talk, like they went ahead and put me on 2 shows because I met Ricky on 2 separate occasions.
Okay.
And basically was like, yo, I do this, like you somebody that I look up to and I'm your frat brother. I really want to get some work with you.
Right.
And he like, oh, you want a picture? And I'm like, no, I don't want no picture. I want to get some work with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was like, I got 2 shows coming up. I'm gonna put you on a boom boom, right?
Like that easy.
No, not at all.
Okay, you got to say more about that then, because it wasn't as simple as, hey, I want to, like, what was that process like?
I don't know how much detail I can say on camera.
Okay.
But
it wasn't that simple as
it wasn't that simple. Like I met him in the airport one time, and what I can say is that the way that I approached him was wrong, and he let me know it. Right? And so the second time I saw him was at Atlanta Greek Picnic, and I they kind of know me because I used to do AGB TV, and so I wasn't going to go to the step show, but I went to the step show just to talk to Ricky. You feel me? And like somebody, I went backstage, talked to him, whatever. I say, I just saw you in the airport. Do you remember me? We had, this little exchange or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I remember you. You want a picture? I was like, no, I don't want a picture. I want to work with you. And he was like, all right. So I had to see him on 2 separate occasions and still, reintroduce myself, tell him who I was, let him, and just let him know what I do and that I believe that I can, make his show, not even better, but if you let me work with you, you won't regret it. You know what I mean? Right. So I had to do that like on 2 separate occasions. He gave me a shot, put me on 2 shows, but I wholeheartedly believe if he only promised me 1 show, then that would have been my only show. Right? So being that he put me on 2 shows, the second show I came out bucking. Right? And I say that because the show in Greenville, I was trying to be a stand-up comedian versus being myself. Right? So and that's all stand-up is telling your own truth in your own way, and the people who gonna feel you gonna feel you. Right? The people who not gonna feel you, they ain't gonna feel you. Ain't no purpose of me trying to go over topics and over topics. Y'all don't get what I'm saying? Oh man, y'all don't feel like people that's gonna feel you rockin' with you. Right.
So what'd you do differently compared to the first time? Because it's the same jokes, right?
Same jokes. But what happened was, like, being that I'm a member of a Making Side 5 and I can still hop. Like, 'cause I am older, so like that should have left me by now, but I can still get down. Right. and so I came out like playing This Is How We Do It. It was Poison. I came out playing Poison. I hopped, got the crowd on my side. Yo, what up?
You ripped your shirt off again?
I did not. Like not in Ricky's show. He would kill me. But I hopped. Shout out to the Qs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then just kind of got him on my side and was like, I shouldn't have did that first. And then they was cool at that point. You feel me? But it was do what makes you comfortable out of the gate. And a lot of times our comedians will say, yo, start with your strongest material. Start with your best joke. But for me, it's different. Everybody's different. My strongest material is energy because I host. So the show in Greenville, I didn't start with energy. I came out like cool and cocky, like, yo, ladies, how y'all doing? What's up? Right. Like, dog, we've been laughing like hard for the past 40 minutes. You come out here with ladies in the building, how y'all feel?
Right.
Like, who is this R&B comedian? Like, who is this lame old? Who is this smooth?
Right.
Like, man, if you don't put a shirt on that fit, get out our face. Like, and so, the second show I just came out, and then like they didn't put nobody. They had like I think the Temptations of somebody that sung and presented something to Ricky, and so when I came up, they just threw me up, and I think it was intentionally to give me a curveball to see if I can handle it. but it helped because that's my element.
So the first night you knew the order you were going in.
I did not.
You didn't.
I did not.
You
They
had to be ready.
They didn't even know that it was gonna be 3 comics on the show until they got there.
Okay.
Because they tried to tell them not to do that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But like you gotta salute the local promoters because they really got it out of the mud,
right.
and so it was packed.
Right.
And so whatever formula they put together, you gotta honor it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so they said, all right, cool, whatever. But the second time was in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
It was somewhere in Mississippi, Jackson, I believe. Yeah, so it was Jackson, Mississippi, and they didn't have nobody go up before me. They had like somebody do a song and present something to Ricky, like the Temptations or whatever. And then the road manager Terry was like, "Yo, Jay, you ready?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "All right, it's on you." What you mean, like right now? He was like, "Yeah, just go. You mean no? Just go. Tell them your name. Walk out." Right? That was it. But that didn't scare me because that's what I do. Right? I host. So I was like, "Yo, what's up? We ready to get the show started?" And I was able to do that and hop and then go into my material, and it was successful. You feel me? Like I still didn't kill, but I did my job. Right? And I made up for the other shows. It was like, okay, you really do this. All right, I salute you. Okay, cool. Yeah, we definitely can use you, bro. So he was like, I was so worried the first show.
Dang. I'm thinking about, I think it's as a speaker, there's a development, and I don't think you know how bad you were until you look back at some of your earlier.
Yeah.
I was listening to some of my stuff from like 2007. I was like, that is terrible,
horrible,
man. It was awful. And I'm like, how did I even feel like? So what that means to me is there's other people that are even worse than I was back then.
Of course.
Because at that point I was like, ooh, I'm kind of good. But when I look back now, I'm like, man, I suck. But so listening to you as I've seen you host. I mean, you kill it every time you host.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you as a stand-up comedian yet.
Yeah.
I've seen you in some of the other stuff that you do. But what do you think is the difference, man? Because once again, that comedian game is so different. What is it about joke telling? What in your mindset as a comedian? What are the tools that you need to kill it?
I've recently got better because I grew up in church all my life, right? And so I had to release myself from my own family. I had to have a conversation with my mom, and just out of this, I'm so grown that I shouldn't even have to have this conversation. But I was like, Mom, like, if you come to one of my shows and I know that you're there, I'll be respectful. But if you hear about my shows, then you're probably not gonna think that that's me, right? But I had to realize I'm the funniest when I'm just talking and kicking shit with my homies, right? And like that's where all my funniest stuff come from. But every show, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking my mom's in the audience. I'm performing for my mom, and this ain't a church show. This ain't a clean comedy show. I'm going to comedy clubs and bars doing all clean jokes, and they ain't trying to hear that. You feel me? And so it is a certain way to be hilarious and not have to cuss and not have to do different topics of just sex and drugs, because I don't do drugs anyway. But so I had to like tell my mom, like, yo, man, like. And then she was even to the point of, and I was like, because I'm thinking that you're in the audience, I've been taking L's. And if this is what I really want to do, I have to figure out a way to grow and release myself from that. And she was like, well, I don't want you, taking any losses. Like, go and perform and do your thing. You know what I'm saying?
What did I say yesterday when I was speaking about L's?
I learned lessons.
Bam.
Like, I was like, man, I don't want to... I've been taking too many lessons, and I know I'm an entertainer. I know I'm good at what I do, but I've just been trying to be too buttoned up, and it's not like that's my lifestyle, right? Like, I can see if I'm trying to be somebody that I'm not. If I'm telling us, like, I got a story about the first time I went to Miami, and it's just about this chick that I felt like I fell in love with. and it went all bad, right? That ain't the story my mom want to hear,
Right.
but it's classic, and they love, and the audience loves the story. I'm not gonna tell you right now. Come see me at a show, but yeah. So,
but give me like 3 to 5. You said, you know what? This is what I believe comedians need to be hilarious or to really kill it at any show.
a following. You need a following.
Following as in people.
Following as in people who believe you and trust you. Yeah. And that comes from them seeing you and being funny. It comes from just doing it so long and so efficiently. You got to be good every time you hit the stage, right? So it's not no days off.
Right.
You feel me? And so I think just that repetition and that muscle. I stay in the gym all of the time, and I need to stay in comedy clubs all of the time, right? Because, and that's the way that you know what's funny, what's not funny, and be humble enough to take out the stuff that's not funny. Versus, I wrote this, you gonna hear it, right? If it ain't, if you did the joke 3 times, 3 different occasions, 3 different demographics, and you just got giggles. Take that joke out. You got to, right? But also, you don't know how good or how bad you are if you don't get in front of those crowds and test it out. Because I can sit here on my phone all day and perform in front of the camera, and if I think it's funny, then I guess. But I need to know that it's funny. Right? But I mean, it does help to record yourself, because if like, just for repetition and getting my cadences down, because if it's not funny to me, of course I don't need to say the joke. But in order to to know if it's really a good joke or if it's really good material, you have to put it in front of crowds.
So you got your following, that repetition.
Yep.
And what else?
Fearlessness.
Say more.
Able to not be afraid to talk about what you want to talk about, and not being scared of that judgment, right? Because it's kind of like, yo, I don't know if it is homosexuals in the crowd, so I won't do this homosexual joke, right? But you got to think about it. You can serve anybody anything as long as you have the right presentation, right? So I could serve you steak, but if I'm at a country club, I might have on a tie. You feel me? But if I'm at a bar in the low country or something, I might just have on just some, you know what I mean, like just whatever. Like like I can come out with the steak on the actual knife and be like, here you go, brother. You know what I'm saying? And you be good with it. But it's still the same steak. So it's about presentation. It's about scanning the room, seeing who in the building. Because I'll never say don't do this joke for this crowd. But it's all about, and Dion Cole, we've linked on a couple of different times. Like I look up to him like as an OG. Like the first time in Miami joke, I say dick in the joke. Right? And so it's a dirty joke, but he even told me, yo, with this particular crowd, he said, I'll never tell a comedian what to say and what not to say, but with this particular crowd, figure it out, right? Because they don't know you, like you're buttoned up to the point that you don't look like you're not a ratchet comedian, right? So if you want to get away with the dirty joke, you can't go with this crowd. You can't go dick, because they don't believe you. You can't do that, right? So what you have to figure out other words or other ways to present it to where you can like at the punchline you can dick, and it means something now versus dick and if that even makes sense, right?
No, I get you.
It's just the presentation. And so he dropped it on me, and that's another story. Is I did the joke didn't go over well. His opener is Ocean, so Ocean had to go after me. And
hold up, don't go to that story yet.
Oh, I got another story.
I know, but I want to make sure, because you said fearlessness, repetition, and the first one was how did I following. Yeah. So is there anything else that you would add
to be efficient,
to be just hilarious, to stand
be hilarious? Just time, comfortability, time, and just like knowing yourself.
I know as a speaker, you know, I always tell people that claim that they're speakers, I said it's very hard to entertain, educate, inspire, and bring that real content all at one time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very hard.
Some people might entertain well, but they're not saying nothing. Some people might bring content, but they're boring as hell. Some people might be inspirational because they know of your story, but you still suck as a speaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how do you do all of those at once to kill it every time you go up? You know what I'm saying? So I know as a comedian, and you were talking about how Deion Cole said this might not be the audience to say it in that particular way.
Yeah.
Right? And so
switching, yeah.
Right. So the other thing that I'm thinking about for comedians is I wonder how important it is to, you're saying the same jokes, but sometimes you gotta finesse it or just spin it just a little bit so they get it.
Yep,
You know
just
what I'm
spin
saying?
it, just present it differently. That's
Right,
all it is.
right.
Like it's just sometimes I can talk faster. If I'm up north, I can talk faster. If I'm with a younger crowd, I can talk faster. If I'm with an older crowd, I have to slow down. Like I have to really slow down, tell my jokes, wait, take a sip of water, let them catch it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's just it's certain it's different ways to present it everywhere. Right? And then even and I mean, because you all even with different venues,
Right.
I have to also keep that in mind, because if I'm in a small comedy club, everybody will hear it at the same time.
Right.
If I'm in a theater, I have to wait for my jokes to get here.
Right.
I have to wait for the laughs to come back to me before I start something else. So it's acoustics in everything.
And that's, you know, when you say time, that's all of the little things that you learn over time.
Yeah.
Because once again, relating what you're saying to me as a speaker and what I do, you know, people don't understand flow. They don't of the stories that you're telling. They don't understand cadence. They don't understand the tones. You know what I'm saying? Like all these little things, like or walking up to somebody and just touching them on their shoulder while you're speaking, or staring them dead in their eye. Like it's all these little things that people don't think about.
Even with body language, you always talk about body language, and so like some people don't even like take that into account.
Yeah.
That you know you might be giving them too much right now.
Yep.
Take a minute, let them get up, stretch, whatever.
Yep.
Saying you're really good at doing that.
Yeah. So going to that, the story about.
Alright. So Deion Cole, like I met him on a couple of different occasions. Every time I meet him, he always show love, man. So I salute him like as an OG. But this particular time we was in California. It was in California at the Ontario Improv.
Is that when I was in LA? That. Okay.
I don't think so.
Because I know you were out there doing.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. But it was at the Ontario Improv. His opener is Ocean. And so I said the joke. It was a joke that he hasn't heard before of mine. So I said the joke. It didn't really go over that well. And then Ocean had to go up. And then after Ocean got off and Deion did his show, for the second show, I go like, and he's an OG. He don't do a lot of talking.
Right.
Like he don't. Like yeah, man, we're not gonna get you for the next show. You know what I'm saying, we'll see you later, right? I'm in Cali. Like like I'm from South Carolina. Like, but you know, so he don't do a lot of talking at all. But he cared enough to say, like I want to talk to you. And he didn't even talk to me unless like he was like, go find Ocean. And then I had to bring Ocean. And like as an OG, he like sat down and talked to both of us, right? And was like, Ocean's on the road with me all the time. I need you to figure it out, because he had to take 5 minutes of his time to get the crowd back right, and that's not fair to him, right? And I'm like, dang, like what happened? Like, and he was like, Ocean
had to take 5 minutes of Deion.
No, of his time.
Of his own time.
So let's say if Ocean got 30 minutes. Well, no, okay. And this wasn't at the second show. I performed at the second show on Thursday. This was the conversation on Friday for the first show. Yeah, let me correct that. Right? And so this is conversation before the first show on Friday. And I already, like, I had my lady with me at the time. I'm thinking I'm gonna do 2 shows. I'm gonna rock out, right? And so this is the conversation before the first show. He was like, like if Ocean got 30 minutes, he had to take 5 minutes of his time to, get the crowd back on his side, because you brought the energy down. I don't need you to do that, right? If you're gonna do that, then I would rather him just do, more time.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, whoa, like this is pressure. And I was like, what? And so I'm like, dang, like, I'm kind of confused. Like, what was it? You know what I'm saying? And he could have just said, yo, go be funny. Last night wasn't it? Go be funny, right? But he was like, I think what it was is you told the dick joke and it didn't go over well. Like with this crowd, you don't want to do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You want to, you know, present it differently. Maybe if you know, like, you know, you can send, like, look up words or whatever. You know different words. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could say thing, penis, Johnson, whatever, until it's like, and like, so that when you say dick, it means something, right? Instead of dick, because it's just like, and so I'm almost like still in my bag a little bit. I'm like, but OG, I listened to it, and that was the part they was laughing loud. And he was like, let me stop you. It's a difference between them laughing, like this dude funny, or what is he talking about, right? Okay. And that's what they were doing last night. So you can either accept it and listen to what I'm saying, or you can fight against me. I'm like, no, you like, no, I feel it. So figure it out.
Right.
And I was like, okay. Right. And so, and then like, I'm at this time, I'm only doing, you know, 7 minutes.
Hold on. So before you continue on, so he said figure it out, but he didn't say you should do 1, 2, 3, or 4. Because he don't tell you how to do your stuff.
No, he don't tell me how to do my stuff. He just said, like, in my opinion, I think that the delivery of that joke could be way better, right? Okay. We say, I'm not going to tell, I'll never tell a comedian what to say, what not to say, but just figure it out, right? So now this is and I'm like, yo, so am I doing both? And this is like, I should be taking this advice and just taking it all in, but I'm still like caught up on, am I performing or not? I'm like, yo, am I doing
That's
both?
what you was thinking about.
And so I asked him, like, am I doing both shows or just one? And he was like, well, let's see how the first show go and then we'll talk. And I was like, okay, so now it's pressure. Because like before, it was just all love. Whenever you show up, of course I'll put you on. You know what I'm saying? You the little homie, right? But now it's pressure. Now I have to be funny and be efficient to even do the second show. So I'm like, man. But now at this point, I'm only doing 7 minutes. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, man, I got more jokes. So I just didn't do that joke. Like, so the first show, I just didn't do that joke. And then I killed. It was good. It was like they laughed loud or whatever. And then as soon as I got back to the green room, this guy tells me, I still wanted you to do the joke. And I'm like, what? Like, I still wanted you to do the joke. I just told you to figure it out.
Right.
And I'm like, man. He like, yeah, because I even, you know, asked like my lady her opinion. I was like, yo, like, should I just take the joke out? Like, what you think he's saying? And she was like, I mean, you got more material, just take it out if that's what he was talking about. I was like, all right, cool, all right. So I took the joke out, and as soon as I got backstage, it was like, I still wanted you to do the joke. I just wanted you to figure it out. So now, this ain't a joke that I'm, you know, have worked on in comedy clubs for a week or so and know that it works now. This is me, like, this ain't a comedy club. I said that it's not a small open mic. This is a comedy club with Dion Cole. This is packed out. So now you're telling me to figure a joke out on stage that I've never had to do a different way, right? And so, like, before I go back on stage or whatever, I'm like, all right, OG, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, watch, I'm gonna make this joke bang. And I said, I'm gonna make this joke bang. And he just looked at me, and I was like, you heard me? He was like, we'll see. I was like, yo. So I get on stage, I tell the joke in a different way. Introduce Ocean come on stage, show me a lot of love. That's what I'm talking about. You hear the difference? You did it. Like, all right, man.
That's what Dion said.
That's what Ocean said.
Ocean said, okay.
Like, yo, that's like, you did it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking. That you see what we saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, like, you did it, right? So I get backstage, and Dion like this. My God. Right? And so I'm like, I'm about to tear up. Like, oh man, it's Dion Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was able to listen, and I did it, and then, you know, and he just sat and talked to me for like a smooth 20 minutes about, you know, you got it in you. Start to figure it out. You know, and he's like, you know, different demographics, different things you gotta realize. You gotta, you know, start to navigate and move in different waters, and you gotta start doing this more, right? You gotta start going different places and seeing what you need to work on in different places, because like right now you're very efficient regionally. Like you're very efficient in the South, and this is a conversation I'll never forget. You say you in the South, churches, colleges, right? You fill a theater with people that are college educated, black, and go to church. I ain't even gonna want to follow you, right? Because that's your thing. That's what you do. Yeah. So now start to get uncomfortable in different situations and in different venues, to where you know that you're gonna be good regardless of who in that audience. You're gonna do your shit, right? Because right now you're here. You're good, but you're good at what you do, right?
With that particular
particular audience, with that particular area. Yeah. So start to get uncomfortable, get outside of that, and you'll really grow.
And that's which is, I'm so glad I'm hearing you say that, because when I think about you often, I know you kill it in a particular demographic. I've seen you several times, and so that's why I asked when I got in the car, like at some of the PWI colleges, how many more, and so and that's coming. I think that happens over time, but it's so good to hear that you're coachable. You know what I'm saying? That you have the ability to listen to people who've been there and done that, because some people will be like, I know you, but this is, you know what I'm saying?
Man, you can't do that. You can't. No. You can never be like that, because you'll never grow and you'll never learn. Right? And not even in comedy. I take a lot of advice from you just because you're older and you've been down, certain paths before. Right. So I always look up to OGs. You have to, right? And I always say, take what you need, throw away what you don't need. Because some people, everybody not going to think exactly how you think or exactly how you want them to think, but you can get little nuggets from different people.
Right? I mean, and it goes both ways for me. Like, I don't care if you're younger than me. I'm like, I'm watching you like, oh, that was dope. Maybe I can kind of put a spin on what what I'm saying. I'm always watching
what's the song?
Yep. Like, I do that like that where we just came from. I'm like, yep. I see I got some new music. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Yeah. So I watch a lot of your videos on Instagram, and I'm thinking about what it takes to come up with a concept, the process of creating. And I guess first I will ask you this: in your view, what's the difference between the stand-up and creating those videos that you've been creating, the funny videos?
It was a time that people were filming like movies, like to where they would do different shots, and this is what the concept is going to be, and like really plan it out. And my funniest videos just come from me sitting in the car with one of my homegirls or something and just saying, oh, this is the concept, let's just shoot it, right? Let's just shoot it, see what we come up with, and then we'll stop, watch it, and say, okay, keep this, take this out, keep this. But for me, there isn't that big of a difference, right? Comedy comes in threes, and so if I tell a joke, I might have an example, and I might have one example, two examples, and then boom, like, oh man, that was stupid, right? So the concept isn't different. Like if I can do a video about me asking my girl, does she want something to eat, and she telling me no, and I get back in the car and she takes my food, how do I turn it into a joke, right? It's just, the concept is the same. Like, yo, like, ladies, can y'all, like, start telling us you hungry? Like, proactively?
Right.
You feel me? Like, don't, like, if I ask you, ma'am, right here, if I ask you, do you want something to eat, and you tell me no, if I get back in the car with fries, are you supposed to get some of my fries?
Right.
Yes, hell no.
Right.
No. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's just, so the concept is the same, but I would have to go back and write it out and see what did I want my punchline to be. Okay. You feel me? Because right now I'm just talking about a concept. Right. But actually orchestrating a joke, I would, make it can be simile like this, like trying to get my food is like, this is something, right? And comparing that to something that is either something that people will remember or something that's current, right? So the concept's the same. It's just actually squeezing out all of the funny and using the different examples of every time she's taking my food, or every time she says that she's not hungry but she really is hungry, or us about to go to the beach or something, so she's really hungry, but she don't want to eat until she takes these pictures.
Right.
On the, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just figuring out every single example and then comparing that to something, to making it funny with energy, with it being relatable to the females or to women.
Gotcha. So I wonder if you're like me, because when I say like me, everything, we're driving now, we're having a conversation, when I'm eating, when I'm with my kids, when I'm with my wife, when I'm with, whoever, everything for me is like, oh man, I can make that a story.
Yeah.
Oh man, are you like that?
I don't know my stories until I tell them to people. Like a lot of my funniest stories actually happen. Like even if you watch my IG, the story times that I do with Jay Dukes, like those actually happen. You feel me?
Right.
And so now it don't take a long time to shoot those stories because it's right here, and all I got to do is just put down the order of where I wanted it. I'm not making up a story. Like I just did the story about getting fired from the radio station. I literally got fired from the radio station because my head was too big, and at that, I probably do 20 to 30 colleges a semester now. At that time, I was only doing like one college a month, and I was still calling out of work. like yo, I can't come in Saturday. It's Tuesday though. What's going on? No, I can't come in today. It's Tuesday. And it's like, okay, what's going on? I got a show that I got to prepare for. When's your show? It's on Saturday. But I'm out here. You feel me? And so I was way too cocky. I actually went on a national tour when I was still at the radio station. And so like a tour to play. I toured to play as a production assistant. You feel me? Like helping with the merch and all of that. So I got from like during 6 to 10 cities, like all over on a luxury tour bus, thinking like rubbing elbows with celebrities, all of that. And I get back to Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I'm working at the station. I was just on tour, bro. Like yo, like hey man, go get those sodas and the t-shirts. About to go to the remote. You get the sodas and the t-shirts. I'll be downstairs. Pull the van up. You feel me? Like so I was just I was way too cocky and not realizing that every connection that I had at that, like I had my phone full of celebrities, you know what I'm saying? But every connection I had at that point, I met them through the radio station. Like I met them at an event, and I was able to pull the manager or whoever to the side and go, yo, my name's Jake Dukes, I do hosting and do colleges, I would love to work with you. Every contact was at the station. Even when I was on tour with the national play, like I met him at the station. We were doing a remote for the play in Spartanburg, and he liked my energy, and he was like, yo, like can you do merchandise? You know how to sell stuff? I was like, man, I'll sell you empty trash bags. This is what I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, all right, I want to bring you on tour. I was like, really? I was like, yeah. Like, all right. You feel me? So every connection. So I really took it for granted. And so just to repair the relationship, I work there now. You know what I'm saying? Like running the boards or whatever. So I work there now, and I think one of the main reasons that I work there now is I totally owned up to all the mistakes that I made and didn't shy away from it. But when I did the video, I shot the video at the station I got fired from. You feel me? With the general manager of the station now. You know what I'm saying? And the lady that fired me had to be the liaison to make sure I needed everything I needed for the video. You feel me? And so, like, I think they respected the fact that, yo, I'm not about to throw y'all under the bus. I'm not about to, like, shoot something and then go back and edit it to do something later. I'm coming to you saying, yo, I messed up. I want to tell my story of how bad I messed up, and hopefully it inspires somebody to not make the same stupid mistakes.
When I was watching that video, I was watching the video and I was cracking up because I remember you telling me the story before you made the video. But the other part is, which I appreciate, is, I think that I watch people. I watch people. So prime example. Yesterday I probably got one of the best compliments that I've ever received. This dude came up to me, one of the students, and he was like, at the beach, he said, man, let me just talk to you real quick. I said, what's up? And he's just like, I just want to let you know, before I met you, you wasn't my favorite speaker because I never heard you.
Yeah.
But he was like, you are probably my favorite speaker, and it's not even about what you spoke about. He said it's more about how I've been watching you ever since you spoke, and it's just that you're hanging with us. You, even when we're not professional, he's just like, you just here with us, and that was probably one of the best compliments. And I'm saying that to relate that to the way in which I watched you. Yeah. Right, from the first day that we met. The first day we met, you were hosting at the school I was working at, and you was like, "Oh man, I like them shoes." You remember that?
Yeah. and then when we met again at NASAP last year, I was like, "Yo, I know you, bro."
Right,
and
right.
He was like, "Where you know me from?" I'm a speaker. You know what I'm saying? I do my thing, and I was like, "Nah, hold on." I was like, "You had on the red shoes."
Yeah.
He was like, "What?"
I remember.
I was like, "Yo, you had on the red shoes 2 years ago at Florida, at University of Florida."
Yeah. But so I've been watching you, and what I really appreciate that a lot of people don't get, that even when you're doing your thing, you're still gonna have to do a few things to continue to grow and to get more opportunities. Prime example, like there's times where we're not going to get paid for certain things, but it's not about getting paid. It's about positioning yourself for opportunities later on and connecting with people.
Come on, man.
And I've been watching.
Come on,
and
man.
you've been doing it.
Got to, bro.
That's why when you text me, I said, watch how we win.
Yeah.
Watch how we win.
Yeah.
Because we're operating different than other folks do. Like, I could have came and spoke the day that I was supposed to speak and left that night.
Exactly.
But that's not how you continue to grow and get better, because the world is all about connections and building relationships.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
so I appreciate you.
And then a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they think that if a check ain't attached to it, it's a waste of their time.
Right.
And that's horrible. That's a horrible mentality to have. Yeah. But I also have, and Diddy is one of, my role models or whatever. Just because, and not because I did used to rap. I'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? I was nice with it. You feel me? Like,
spit something right now.
I wasn't nice at all. I wasn't, but like I was the one, like we had mixtapes in high school. I was the one that they would come to the house and record and all of this. And that's another story that you got to go check out. Is my mom didn't let me be a rapper because she actually found the CD one time, and like she missed overtime on Saturday, and like we grew up struggling, so she needed overtime to pay the bills.
Right.
She missed overtime to come to storm back upstairs and find every CD in my room, and she broke it and threw it in my face when I was asleep. Like, this is 6 o'clock in the morning. She broke it, threw it in my face, every single one.
So she was die hard church. Die hard.
Of course,
like,
still is. Like, yeah. And so everyone, she broke it, threw it in my face. And so that's a story for another time. But I realized that I couldn't rap, but I still looked up to the fact that if you only can truly control what you create. Right? So if I'm the producer, I can do what I want to do.
Right.
Y'all come into my crib and recording.
Right.
I can put a verse down if I want to. I can talk junk over a track if I want to. Right? If I want to.
Yeah.
So I've always had that mentality of, why just be an entertainer, be a boss? Like, who just like, and so that blows me away when you got some entertainers that's like, oh, my people got that. My people will handle that.
Right.
Like, nah, go. I'm like, bro, you ain't even making no real money yet. Like, for you to act like that, you're not making no real. And so now you don't have any connections because your agent has all of the connections.
Right.
Because they only talk to you when you show up.
Right.
And that's horrible. Right? So you have to have those connections, not only for yourself, but who else you gonna help?
Yeah, man.
Like, you ain't gonna be able to like plug nobody because they don't know you.
That's right.
Right? Because if you call and say, yo, thank y'all for having me at your school, I want to, bring my tour next time. Well, get your agent to call me. That's what I deal with.
Right.
It's not a conversation.
It's real.
You feel me? Because now I don't believe that you got the connections, because your agent does everything for you. Are you sufficient enough or efficient enough to get it done? I'd rather deal with your agent because that's what I always deal with. And so I like to, have not even my hands in the pot, but I like to, have some say-so in that conversation.
Right.
Because I'm more than just an entertainer.
Right.
Like, I plan events. I'm able to put stuff together. I like to, put different people together so that we all can win.
And that's what it's about. Like I was telling some of them this weekend. I said, you know what? I've been to some of your institutions, which I'm grateful. Thank you, and I love it. But I know you can't just bring me every single year. So whenever you're looking for somebody, even if it's not me, let me know what you need, and I'll tap into my network and send somebody to you. So that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. So how do you describe yourself? Like, I don't like when people. Well, it's not. I don't want to say I don't like, but some people say he's a. This is Dr. Joe Johnson. He's a motivational speaker, and you'll never hear me say I'm a motivational speaker. I might say I'm a speaker, but I never describe myself as a motivational speaker. But how do you describe yourself?
I am a comedic host.
A comedic host.
Yeah. I want that comedic to change to celebrity. I should be speaking it into existence as like today. But until I get on something like television wise, movie wise, the concept of celebrity is kind of like, is he a celebrity or is he just really, really good? You feel me? So that's a little bit foggy, but what you can't take from me is that I'm a great host. So if I just tell you I'm a comedic host, that's what I am, right? Gotcha. So you do comedy or you do hosting? I host, but I'm gonna give you whatever you need to make sure you're entertained.
Gotcha. So there, I don't place any limitations on things that I could do. So one of the things I think traditional education does to students is it sets them up to think you get this degree and this is the area that you work in. Right? And for me, even getting my PhD, I knew that the PhD was going to be leverage and just a tool to do so much more.
Exactly.
Right? And so my foundation for me is speaking. But as a speaker and the ability to be a master communicator, there's so much more. So I'm interested in doing voiceovers. I'm interested in TV, maybe hosting a TV show or whatever. I'm interested in doing so much more than just a speaker. So say more about, if you, even in this moment, if you say you're a comedic host, but soon to be a celebrity, what else are you interested in?
Yes.